Chapter 146, Completion of Foundation, Establishment, Fratricide, Demi-Immortal Remnant Soul _3. Han Yi took a step back, brilliantly dodging Lu Juanshuan's sword technique. Immovable Rakshasa body. Han Yi silently chanted in his heart, activating the eyeless Rakshasa from his sea of consciousness. With a loud rumble, the ground beneath his feet shuddered. A towering, majestic six-armed Rakshasa appeared, radiating solemn authority and enveloping Lu Juanshuan in its terrifying aura. What is this? Could it be the Rakshasa heavenly demon? Seeing the phantom of the Rakshasa, Lu Juanshuan finally understood why Han Yi was so powerful despite his foundation establishment cultivation level. He was capable of condensing the legendary heavenly demon phantom. Such powerful bloodlines were only possessed by those with earth-shaking talent. Within the realm of the immovable Rakshasa, Lu Juanshuan was completely suppressed by Han Yi, unable to retaliate. Only after 3 moves, Han Yi struck Lu Juanshuan's right shoulder with his palm. Boom! Domineering force broke Lu Juanshuan's shoulder bone. She spat out a mouthful of blood and was blown backward, falling on the ground. The sword in her hand also flew out of her grip, landing on the ground. Han Yi swung his arm in midair, and the fallen sword flew up and landed in his hand. He pointed the sword tip at Lu Juanshuan's neck and said, "Women like you, with a beautiful face who do not know how to cherish it, deserve to die." Lu Juanshuan was lying on the ground, her eyes filled with fear. She pleaded, "Junior brother Han Yi, please don't kill me. I will do anything you want. I could become your woman, your servant, as long as you spare me." As Lu Juanshuan lowered her eyes and bowed her head, her eyes emitted a cold light. She quickly pulled out a blue talisman inscription and threw it at Han Yi. At the same time, she slapped her palm on the ground, sliding back 3 meters, then doing a flip to get up and hastily fleeing. Seeing the talisman inscription thrown by Lu Juanshuan, Han Yi was not panicked at all. His 5 fingers flickered, and the Rakshasa's large hand from behind swung, using magic power to wrap up the talisman inscription and flung it dozens of meters away. Boom! The talisman inscription exploded above the ground in front of Lu Juanshuan, releasing streams of electricity and forming a powerful impact. Lu Juanshuan was blown back by the force, falling once again at Han Yi's feet. Thud! Without any hesitation, Han Yi thrust his sword towards Lu Juanshuan's brow, leaving a red mark on her forehead with a drop of scarlet blood flowing out from her skin. Lu Juanshuan's body became motionless, devoid of life, turning into a beautiful corpse. With that previous strike, Han Yi used his sword chi to pierce through Lu Juanshuan's brain. Although it seemed like just a red dot, it had actually shattered Lu Juanshuan's soul. Han Yi looked at the slender sword in his hand, slightly nodding to himself. A high-grade magical sword. It's a thin one, which does not suit my style. I can sell it for money. Pocketing that treasure sword into his spatial ring, Han Yi went to claim the 2 bundles on Lu Juanshuan's back. Not only did these bundles contain 20 gilded emperor model plants, but also elixirs and other valuable items that Lu Juanshuan and Yu Xingmu had brought into the Golden Cicada secret realm. He put all the treasures and elixirs into his spatial ring to sort out later. Han Yi preserved all 20 gilded emperor model plants in a jade bracelet. With these gilded emperor model plants, my chances of reaching a rank 7 or higher golden core are significantly improved. Han Yi raised his head to glance at the mountaintop, spotting many more gilded emperor model growing on the cliff halfway up the mountain than at the foot of the mountain. However, an elusive layer of purple fog deterred anyone from reaching. Han Yi shook his head gently, discarding the greed in his heart, murmuring to himself, "I won't take the risk. There's no need to gamble with my life. It was too dangerous up there. Even golden core cultivators rarely came out alive once they enter." Being able to gain so much at the foot of the mountain was already quite good. Han Yi carefully buried Yu Xingmu's body and took Yu's storage ring. As soon as he turned around, he unexpectedly felt as if something was missing. He stopped and looked carefully at the ground, only to discover, to his horror, that Lu Juanshuan's body was gone. Han Yi remembered clearly that Lu Juanshuan's body was laying less than 10 meters away from him. How could it disappear without reason? Even a cultivator with a nascent soul wouldn't be able to steal the body without a sound from such a close distance. Suddenly, Han Yi felt the cold wind blow from behind him. He was about to strike back when A cold jade hand clasped his neck, rendering him immobile. Don't move, a hoarse voice echoed from behind Han Yi. The person behind him was extremely cold and exuded an intense chill, freezing the sweat on Han Yi's back into crystal. He felt as if his own blood was about to freeze. Han Yi strived to remain calm, refusing to turn around as he asked, "Who are you?" "Me." "Who am I?" The voice seemed confused. Although hoarse, the voice seemed somewhat familiar to Han Yi, similar to Lu Zhuangshuan's. The hand strangling Han Yi's neck suddenly loosened. The person took a couple of steps back, murmuring to herself in confusion, "Who am I? Who am I?" Seizing this opportunity, Han Yi swiftly lunged forward, creating a distance of more than 10 meters between them before turning to look back. The person who had just seized him was indeed Lu Zhuangshuan, or more accurately, Lu Zhuangshuan's corpse. How can this be? How did she come back to life? Impossible, I clearly used a sword chi to shatter her soul. As Han Yi stared at Lu Zhuangshuan, who was standing in the distance, he noticed something was off. Above Lu Zhuangshuan's head, there was a golden halo, forming a blurry humanoid shape. The golden halo emanated a terrifying aura and an intense chill, covering the ground for tens of meters around with a thick layer of frost, keeping Han Yi at bay. Is that a residual soul? Why is it above Lu Zhuangshuan's head? Han Yi's expression grew serious as a potential explanation crossed his mind. Mortals have souls, and cultivators have divine souls. The higher the cultivator's level, the stronger their divine soul. It was said that once the cultivator reaches the stage of deity transformation, their divine soul becomes so strong that they could achieve an out-of-body experience, absorbing heavenly earthly spiritual chi, and killing people from miles away without a trace. And immortals could use their immortal power to nurture their divine soul into an immortal soul. When a powerful being perishes, their soul should exist for about a century before dissipating. Only an immortal soul, due to the residual consciousness of the immortal contained within, would not dissipate even after 1,000 years. Instead, it would become a residual soul, lingering in the place of their death. Could what he was seeing be an immortal soul? Burning Spring Lake is where an immortal perished. Could it be that the demi-immortals and immortals who died there turned into residual souls, and, by some miraculous coincidence, entered Lu Zhuangshuan's body? This idea occurred to Han Yi, gazing at Lu Zhuangshuan, whose eyes were rolling back and body was twitching from time to time. He felt a chill run down his spine.